Hi, my name is Neeti, and I'm here with my colleague Natasha. We are from Lifestyles Foundation, and today we are presenting the power of routines. Um, Before we go ahead, we'll talk about the importance of routines and how it helps in everybody's life. Um, but in particular with children, if there's a routine set up, it helps them to predict the activity, so they know what activity is coming. That reduces the stress because they know what is expected and what is coming to them. It also helps increase participation and cooperation because they know uh, what this what this routine or what this activity looks like, because they have been every day or every hour or sometime, like doing they have been doing it consistently. They also get the sense of time, because then when they know that, oh, it's a dinner time or it's a nap time, so they know that this is what they're going to do at this particular time. Since they know the routine and they like to participate, that builds their confidence. They feel secure because they know that they are participating. It motivates them. They feel confident about achieving their goals. So that helps them to build their self confidence. But some people think that routine can be boring, but it as said, researchers have proven that young kids enjoy repetition. They learn through repetition, and that repetition helps in the routine because they know what the routine looks like. And routines are really important for setting up the life skills, like morning routine. When you wake up, you freshen up, you do your brush, you or like when you are feeding, you have to wash your hands before eating, and then you eat, and then you clean up. So it set up the routine helps them to learn their life skills, which are so important. As an adult, we have ability, or our cognitive functions and executive functions help us to moderate our feelings, our energy and sensation. But when toddler or infants, they need some support to regulate their feelings, because their brain is still developing. So uh, like if there's something new happen for an adult can calm down, rethink, use his cognitive functions and like judgment and memory, and then they were able to regulate their feelings. But for kids, if suddenly something happens off routine, it kind of resets them, and they need some support from adults to know what they need to do in that situation. With toddler, dealing with the changes like loud noises, if they are sleepy, they are tired, or the new situations like when they have to share their things or they have to turn taking. They It's kind of a stress, it's kind of a change, which kind of sometime they need more support during that activity. As I mentioned, that self-regulation for the young ones is little hard because they are still learning, and so they need an adult to help them to regulate their emotional needs. So, and that process is called co-regulation. So, co-regulation is understanding, acknowledging, offering support. Giving positive responses, for helping children to understand what their feelings are and how positively they can behave in that moment. And when the toddler's needs or emotional needs are actually met, they build that trust, they learn self-soothing, and in a long run it helps them to self-regulate. So initially when the babies or infants are younger, they need more support from adults, which is co-regulation. But as positive responses are provided, eventually they learn to regulate their own emotional needs, and that's called self-regulation.
So one of the phrases we like to use is when the adult is helping the toddler or the young child co-regulate, they're giving calm to their chaos. because that is what young children need. They can't always calm themselves. And especially during a daily routine, such as bedtime, children might be feeling a lot of things. They might be feeling tired. They might be feeling that they don't want to go to bed, even if they are tired. And, they can't sort of manage those sensations. So these are some techniques that you can use as a parent or caregiver to help bring a little calm to the routine and help them manage it in a way that allows them to be successful. So you can label, which is basically just talk about what you're doing. We need to take a bath now because it's almost time for bed, and we want to do that so we're all clean when we put our jammies on. You can model that you yourself also go through these daily routines because, as we mentioned before, they are life skills. They're something that everybody has to do. And you can show that you are calm and you are able to wait, or you are able to go through those tasks. You can redirect. If your child, starts to get distracted by something, you can help them kind of get back to the task at hand. You can show your support by just, being their caregiver. Maybe they need an extra hug. Maybe they want to hold your hand. Maybe they want to sit next to you. Just, being warm and supportive in whatever way they're requesting. We recommend you stay positive whenever dealing with routines in young children, because if you say, I know this is really hard, but we have to do it anyway, the small child, even if they don't have a lot of language, can latch on to that demeanor and will give you more pushback. So it's better to, stay more positive and upbeat about the situation, even if for you as an adult, you also agree that it's not your favorite. And then we've talked a lot about repetition already, but being really clear and maintaining expectations, and if possible, keeping those expectations during daily routines the same all the time sets your little one up for success because they know what's coming, they know what's expected of them, and they can meet you halfway. So, we wanted to talk specifically about sleep today and about bedtime routines. So, as a parent or caregiver, to help troubleshoot, we recommend looking for signs of sleepiness in your little one so that you don't wait to start the bedtime routine until they're overtired. Signs include rubbing their eyes, yawning, for infants, turning away. For slightly older toddlers, they might become fussy. You also might notice some self soothing behaviors when a child becomes tired before sleep. Self soothing behaviors are the beginning of self regulation. And in little children, they often are physical things like sucking on their thumb or fingers, requesting a pacifier, or they might have a lovey, my bear, and they might have they might enjoy a sensation of the lovey. They might stroke a particular point, or they might pull on it. They might even put the lovey in their mouth. Loveys are a great tool that can help your child feel more comfortable. So if you do notice that they are showing a particular affinity for a certain toy, it's a great thing to include in the bedtime routine because it can really help. They might require more co-regulation techniques such as rocking. If your child needs to be rocked to sleep still, that's okay. Laying in bed together and reading or singing is a great technique because not only is it a social activity that's including some good language, but it also can help them feel calm. You can include the whole family in a routine like that. Maybe everybody sits together and reads a quiet story. And the most important thing is whatever's in your calming routine should work for your family. Don't include something just because you think it might help. Really include what works for you. If you want to do bath time before bedtime, then do it. But if it works better for you to have baths in the morning, that's totally okay. If your child prefers a sound machine to music, then you don't need to include lullabies. Really figure out and troubleshoot what works for you, set it in place, and use it if possible every day. You can use visuals and signs that it's time for bed, whether it's reading certain books about bedtime or doing a cue like a certain type of music. So when your child hears it, they can say, oh, mommy always plays that music before it's bedtime. And it gives them a cue to start getting ready for that routine. And we always recommend avoiding very stimulating activities before bed. So, the hour before bed is not the time to play tickle games or to play chase per se and things like that. So just, avoid things that may potentially cause your child to resist or, to become more awake.
And sometimes setting up the routines might be stressful because it's something new for them. So if you are setting up a routine, it might take some days for the child to understand that this is a new routine, because this is not the one they have been. So the consistency and being consistent on that routine would help, because then that would be as Natasha said, that would be a cue to them that, oh, okay, it's a new routine, but we are going to follow this routine. As a part of bedtime routine, most families do a book time. And book time also can be a calming time. It could be a cue that it's going to be sleep time. You can set up a routine saying that you're going to read one book or two books or whatever your family dynamics allows. Or you can allow the child to make a choice which book he wants to read, or if he has a favorite book, it's okay to read over and over and every day those books if they really like that, because that's also part of their routine. For today's, we chose Good Night Gorilla, and I'm gonna read Good Night Gorilla. While we are reading books, we can also set up another smaller routine between that, like, oh, I'm gonna read this book. Let's count 1, 2, 3. Good night, gorilla. A zookeeper. Oh, look, a gorilla. Good night, gorilla. He's taking the keys off. Oh no! He opened the door and he's walking with the zookeeper. Good night, elephant. Good night, elephant. Oh no! Gorilla opened elephant and now he's helping lion to come out. Good night, lion. Good night, hyena. And good night, giraffe. He's taking all his friends with him. Let's wonder, where would they go? Good night, armadillo. Saying, come on, armadillo. Gorilla is taking all his friends with him. And they're going march, march, march behind a zookeeper. There's a gorilla. There's an elephant. There's a big lion. There is an hyena and a giraffe. They're going in zookeeper's house. Oh, everybody's so tired. Big yawn. Good night, dear. Mrs. Zookeeper says, good night, dear. Oh, so many good nights. Good night. 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 Ooh, this is new. Ooh, how many people are here? Good night, dear. You are not supposed to be here. Let's go back. Back to your beds. Let's go back to your beds. Good night, zoo. Everybody stays in the zoo. Oh no, he is a sneaky gorilla. He's coming back again. Walk, 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 walk. Oh, now everybody's again so tired. Big yawn. Oh, turn off the light. Good night, dear. Good night. Good night, Corolla. Oh, he's sleeping. He is so tired. The mousey said, good night, Corolla. They are good night. Sleep tight. The end. Bye bye. Good night, Corolla book.
So when Niti was reading, you'll notice that she was quite calm and she chose a book that was about bedtime. And those are both good techniques when you're choosing a book to find one that can be kind of rhythmic and soothing. And then if it's about bedtime, it's a bonus because then you're reading about a routine that you're doing in real life. So we hope you enjoyed learning with us a little bit about bedtime routines and that you'll be able to try some of our techniques with your family. Take care.
Bye.